Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with my fifth of six top videos celebrating the best movies of 2021. Today I'm talking about Best Actress in a Leading Role, so let's get right to it. Number five, I'm going to say Jennifer Hudson in Respect. Hudson plays the legendary R&B, the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. This film covers her childhood, her first marriage, of course, her tumultuous relationship with her father, the death of her mother, but then her finding her own sound with the Muscle Souls band, and then kind of just like literally just like montages through her most successful period. So we just pretty much hurry up and get to her getting clean of her substance abuse and doing her gospel record for the third act. I kind of felt the movie did. Holy shit! Felt the movie did rush itself. But still overall works. You have if you have a 3 hour movie, make a 3 hour movie. My problem with long movies has never been the length; it is filling that length. You know what I mean? Like the movie Free Guy was over 2 hours long. And like there's a whole 20-minute segment in like the second act that could have been cut entirely, adds nothing to the plot, it just makes the movie longer. Um Number four, oh, and by the way, I should say something about her performance. Hudson did a terrific job of really very much like Angela Bassett and What's Love Got to Do with It. It felt like the more the movie went on, the more she sounded like Aretha, and being a professional singer with her own kind of signature sound and own unique voice. It I don't know. It just really was an impressive performance to me. Even though Jennifer Hudson, in my opinion, is way just like incredibly far more attractive than Aretha Franklin was on her best day. Number four, Jessica Chastain in The Eyes of Tammy Faye. I really wasn't sure if I was going to nominate her for this. She of course plays Tammy Faye Baker. Tammy Faye Baker was a got caught up in scandals and shit because of her husband, but as far as anyone could tell, she was just a naive woman, and was in this film at least is presented as basically just a good person who would just happen to marry a piece of shit. Could happen to anyone, but I thought Jessica Chastain was really good in this. Uh, Almost too good. Almost just Tammy Faye is just an infamously obnoxious television personality, and she's almost too obnoxious in this. The only thing that really holds it back for me is I did not like the prosthetics used in the movie. You know, when he prosthetics for jowls and stuff like that in movies have a bad habit of just like ending at the jaw, where it's like there'll be the usual actor's slender, healthy neck, but then these weird jowls. You think of or they have a slender, healthy neck, but think like Anthony Hopkins, and as Hitchcock, is it was obviously not the bottom half of his face. It just looked fake, Uh, but yeah, other than that, Chastain is really moving and touching, and I thought the movie tried to fairly portray her and their whole thing. Like the movie was more anti Jim Baker and anti televangelism than just straight up anti Christian kind of shit, and then I appreciate that. Number three, because I'm anti evangelist myself, to tell you the truth. Number three, Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball in Being the Ricardos. Now, just talk about climbing at Mount Everest here. It's like when somebody plays John Wayne or Freddie Mercury. If anyone ever played Michael Jackson, Johnny Cash was another one. When you got these people that are almost, you're literally being cast to play some of the most recognizable people of the last century. And John Lennon, anytime somebody's played him, it's just like hard if not impossible, just to fall right into an impression. And I thought Nicole Kidman did a good when she's Lucy performing. Oh my god, it's uncanny. But when she's Lucy intimate with just Desi and with her cast and crew, I thought she brilliant of Kidman to make sure she's playing her as a character, as the almost. She's really not funny as just her regular self. Because she almost overthinks every little thing. She's a perfectionist, and her show is just important to her as her marriage. And it was a terrific performance from Kidman, one of the best of her careers. And it's my understanding she was very tentative about taking the role, and was downright even insecure about certain aspects of her performance while filming. But I just think it's one of the best works of her career, and I've always been a fan of Nicole Kidman, even though I've always kind of felt that her voice is her one weakness. She seems to struggle with accents. Her projection was definitely seemed to be an issue when she was younger, but yeah, she's 30 years of busting your ass really pays off right here, and she's terrific as Lucille Ball. Even my wife said, who's a huge Lucy fan, the biggest Lucy fan I've ever met in my life, thought she was she ended up being better in the role and probably even a better choice for the role than the woman who had to drop out, Kate Blanchett. And if you please, Sarah, who the hell am I to say you didn't cut it? Number 2 is Taylor Page for Zola. It's, of course, I mentioned Zola is about a waitress and part-time stripper kind of gets manipulated into going along with a brand new girlfriend she just met. That girl's roommate, who turns out to be her pimp, and the girl's boyfriend down to Florida for a weekend of stripping at this supposedly really nice strip club. And end up getting fucking and getting wrapped up in a wild weekend of sets and violence. It's a terrific movie. It's one of the best movies of the year. And even though I've talked already about how Riley Keough is a standout performance of this year for me, maybe my favorite performance of the whole damn year, in my opinion, if she's not nominated for Oscar, then she's robbed. She's just, I don't even need to see the other 5 girls. I just know that Riley deserved to be nominated. She was great. But that's not to take away from Taylor Page's. She's a star. She's Zola, and she's terrific in this. And it reminded me in ways to Hugh Jackman when he first played Wolverine in X-Men. You made the kind of attitude and confidence and presentation of yourself, your presence, walking out there like, no, you may not know who I am, but I'm a movie star. This is my movie. And yeah, that confidence just crackles. Just ripples throughout the whole film. And yeah, man, a good movie needs a good lead, and the greatest movies are anchored by an irreplaceable lead, and Taylor Page is magnificent in this. And when I looked up the real Zola, oh no, she's nowhere near as gorgeous as Taylor Page, but she's probably not as smart as they present Zola to be in the movie either, but But yeah, man, she was amazing this. And my number 1, my winner, gotta give it to Lady Gaga for House of Gucci as Patrizia Gucci. The 20-year storyline of her relationship with the family, how her ambition basically self-destructs this family empire when she marries into it, and just everything is just portrayed with so much. A couple of movies now into her career and working with a veteran filmmaker like Ridley Scott, and having such a strong supporting cast that she did in this movie. I mean, Pacino and Jeremy Irons and Salma Hayek, they're just, no one's, she had a strong foundation to present a great lead performance, and she nailed it. Uh, it just, I mean, just she gets the it's confident, it's seductive, it's manipulative, it's arrogant, egotistical, and even at times insane. She's excellent in this movie, and she's probably going to get her second Best Actress Oscar nomination. She's already won for the Stars Born song, which knew she would. But yeah, she's terrific. Of what acting she's done so far, this is her most impressive performance to me. And yeah, your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are going to be a bit strange. First, let's say Mila Kunis for Four Good Days. She's, in my opinion, kind of an unappreciated actress. She's kind of been hampered with that "you're too pretty to be actually talented" kind of vibe towards her. But she's terrific. She's always been good. I can't think of anything off the top of my head I genuinely didn't like her in. But yeah, she is outshined by Glenn Close in this movie, no doubt. Alana Haim, charming girl next door performance in Licorice Pizza, and the way she's able to play off her actual family in the movie. They cast her sisters to play her sisters, her parents to play her parents, and all of this just adds to the likability and the charm and relatability of the character as well. She's good in it. Um, Maggie Q and The Protege wasn't a movie. I mean, it's a basic shoot 'em ups, assassins hunting assassins kind of movie. But I did enjoy her performance in it, and her character, particularly her the relationship between her and Michael Keane, they're hunting each other, they're trying to kill each other, but there's this definite attraction there. It kind of makes it this vibe for the film when you finally get to the final shootout. You're kind of like hoping they don't kill each other. Why don't you just guys say fuck all these other bad guys and all this other hustle and go fuck? You actually find yourself rooting for these characters and not wanting either one of them to die, and that's a shit was surprising. Who else? Annabelle Wallace for Malignant. To me, in my opinion, is easily James Wan's weakest film. I think he's a genius. I still enjoyed this movie quite a bit, but I think the payoff, I mean, the further I get away from the movie, the kind of sillier it seems, but it's still great. It's terrific. It's fucking freaky as all hell, and I think it's kind of hampered by a not so great score. It's not that the score is not good, but to me, just kind of wasn't fitting. You know what I mean? So it felt more like a seven, like intricate, like no seven. It felt like the score for Seven, frankly. Else I mention anyone else? The movie sucked. Tom and Jerry movie sucked, but I thought Chloe Grace Moretz was very, very charming in the role and did a terrific job of carrying a film without, having her two main co-stars on stage with her, And finally, I guess I should throw a little bit of appreciation to Emma Stone and Scarlett Johansson for Cruella and Black Widow, respectively. Either one of those movies were good, were satisfactory, I should say. Black Widow wasn't good, but neither movie was really satisfying. But it wasn't the fault of either one of those women. They really busted their ass to make those movies work. And it really ultimately comes down to the kind of lazy, hubris, pseudo-political mindset that Disney is in right now. It's Disney that ruined those projects, not the leading ladies. They stepped up and they did everything they could to make those films work and make them successful. And yeah, they should have some appreciation for it. I think it was a bit petty for Scarlett Johansson to try to sue Disney, but it is what it is. Or whatever exactly. I don't know if it actually resulted in an actual lawsuit, but anyhow. One more of these to go. Just one more to go. Hope y'all enjoy these. I think I'm getting these out in record time this year. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.